Hello, hello, everyone. I see people coming into the webinar today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Megan Schaefer. I'm the creative director here at ArtCloud. And thank you so much for being here. It's Wednesday, March 26th. We're a full 3 months almost through the year, and we thought it would be a great time to have a webinar about collecting all of our sales information, all of our pipeline information, our funnel information, and making really educated decisions about how to sell more art with the right tools with the rest of 2025. Um, Today, we have about roughly 35 minutes, including a Q&A at the end. So feel free to drop any questions you might have along the way in the Q&A. Also, if you want to come back to listen to a particular section again, listen to the whole webinar again, we will send out a recording in an email in less than 5 days with both the recording and some follow-up information about ArtCloud. I know today I looked at the list of our registrants. We have a really cool and healthy mix of customers, current customers who utilize ArtCloud every day. So just to start out and say thank you so much for using our platform. Thank you so much for supporting our product, and we look forward to supporting you now and in the future. And I just really appreciate your business. And then for the rest of y'all, I'm saying y'all, we are based here in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. We have about a few dozen perspective galleries as well. So if you've never met us before, I'm here with Alex West, co-founder and CEO of ArtCloud. And again, I'm Megan, and I head up marketing here. So with all that said, I will hand over the mic to Alex, and he will give you a little bit of an introduction of our company.
Cool. Thanks, Megan. And again, thank you guys for taking some time to join us today. We're excited to kind of look at a little bit of a bigger picture than we usually do in some of these webinars, and then kind of zoom into one area of those. But we hope that by zooming out a little bit, we can help give you guys a little bit of a fresh perspective on some things that we know can feel daunting and overwhelming around galleries. But a little bit of background on ArtCloud for those of you who do not know. We're a comprehensive art management and marketing platform. We have two main products: the ArtCloud Manager, which is kind of everything you need to run the brick and mortar gallery: CRM, email marketing, opportunity tracking, which we'll talk about in a little bit, inventory management, collateral, etc. And also a website builder. So we have a product that helps you build and maintain a website that's highly integrated, both with your inventory and with your CRM. So if someone were to inquire about an artwork, which we'll kind of get into in a little bit, all that inquiry, that contact, that association with the artist will all be mapped into your CRM so that it can make it very efficient for managing communications with your clients going forward. One of the things what we want to talk about today is kind of how to think about growing your revenue in a predictable fashion. We hear from customers and prospects all the time that sales are up or they're down or they're unpredictable, and uh, a lot of galleries and businesses in general are looking for ways to make their revenue a little bit more predictable. And we believe kind of there's an industry standard outside of the art world around sales funnels, and we believe that if you apply this kind of funnel uh, analogy or kind of metric to your business, a frame of reference to your business, it can really demystify a lot of the kind of ups and downs of sales, and will let you know where to focus your energy. Over and over, when we talk to customers and prospects, they just kind of feel like we know our sales are not what they need to be, but we don't know where to go apply that energy, and that can just feel incredibly frustrating and overwhelming because you're just working really, really hard on things that may or may not move the needle. So today we're going to kind of walk through a simple plan. You can structure this concept in any way that makes sense for your business, but the three simplest ways to think about the sales funnel or the life cycle stage of a purchase is to divide it into an upper funnel. So the biggest net, kind of anyone that knows about your gallery, anyone that knows about your inventory, your exhibitions, kind of the awareness bucket. Then you kind of have this mid funnel. So people that are actually starting to engage, maybe they're coming back to your website a couple of different times. Maybe they're, attending the exhibition. Maybe they're inquiring about something, and then that lower funnel, the people that are actually showing you buying signals, that are actually expressing interest in purchasing work. And when you start to think about your whole marketing and sales effort, and you divide or deconstruct that effort into these three buckets, then you can start looking at what's working and what's not working, and where you can have the highest return on your investment, where you can get the most leverage for new work. And so, again, just kind of walk through this, the upper funnel. So obviously the widest part of the net, the most people that are aware of what your marketing is selling, your inventory. These are going to be things like website visits, social media impressions, email newsletter recipients, word of mouth, any kind of like people, the buzz, the awareness around your efforts. And there's a million ways to track this. We'll walk through some ways to track this inside of ArtCloud, but there's a host of other platforms. If you're not on ArtCloud or you're not using the Pro Plus plan, even if you kind of just try to benchmark these numbers, in Excel or in anything, you get a sense of how many people are we reaching on a monthly basis? How many people are seeing our newsletter and opening it? How many people are coming to our or signing up and looking at our social media? How many people are coming to our website? Kind of what are the broad strokes of that upper funnel? As you start working on and pushing content out to that upper funnel, you'll start to get mid funnel engagement. So these are the people that are clicking on links from your newsletter and browsing your website, showing up to your exhibition in person, uh, anything that, or making inquiries, just like starting to raise their hand and say, "I'm interested in learning more. I'm interested in not just being anonymous. I want to talk to you, have an interaction with you." And again, this is going to be a subset of all of that engagement. So if you have 1,000 people that are kind of aware of the buzz of your programming, maybe 500 are actually raising their hand and saying, "Hey, this is really cool. I like this. Sign me up for updates. Um, I'd like to come to the gallery. Do you have any more information about this artist, etc." So again, just writing these numbers down so you can get a sense of how many people from this buzz, like from this top of funnel, how many are we able to actually convert? And if you find that that number is really low, if you have 1,000 people that you're marketing to in a month, and five, are actually raising their hand and saying, "This is interesting. I want to do more," then you need to work on that marketing language. What are you saying? How are you saying it? Because of of 1,000, that's 0.5% engaged, and we'll show you some kind of industry standards of what you would expect those conversion rates to be. But you're going to want to have a decent, 5% maybe of the people that you overall talk to that are actually somehow interacting with you. And so that's a great kind of first step to figure out how many people are we overall communicating with, and how many people are actually responding to some level of engagement. Then to kind of further tighten this funnel, we have our lower funnel or our conversions. And this is kind of where the actual sales are happening. So how many people are actually saying, "This is the work I'm interested in," or "I've got a space in my home that I'm trying to fill, and we really want to get work that looks like this," or "We really like work from this artist, and we've been saving up for a while. We really want to make a acquisition." How many people are truly having sales oriented conversations? And that's kind of your lower funnel. And again, to kind of like recap, the beauty of starting to frame this and think about your sales efforts in this kind of concept of a funnel is that you're going to really know where to focus your energy. If you feel like you've got a lot of people that are coming in, but you just can't close them, then you need to work on your lower funnel tactics. Like, how are you doing your follow-ups? What do those follow-ups look like? Are there call to actions in them? How promptly are you responding to emails? Those are all different things that you can do to improve the conversion rate of people saying, "Hey, I'm interested in buying a piece," that are actually then buying something on an invoice. Um, so and that's where we're going to really focus today. We're going to zoom out in a second and show you in our product how you can visualize these three funnels. Again, you don't need to use ArtCloud if you want. You can do this in Excel. We certainly make it as easy as we know how to in the platform, but we're going to focus on that second conversion rate. How do you take those people that are showing some interest and ensure that they're actually converting to a closed deal? So we're going to jump on over to the product here. If you are already in ArtCloud, you'll recognize this. This is our homepage dashboard with kind of all of your notifications and messages and your Copilot stream. We're going to jump down into the analytics first. I want to kind of show you our representation of that funnel in your analytics. So when you come into the overview section here, you're going to see this kind of three bucket these three bucket widgets: the awareness bucket, so that top of funnel, this engagement bucket, which is that mid funnel, and then the revenue. How many people did you? How many sales did you actually make? And what's really cool about inside of ArtCloud, and you can do this in Excel. That's a lot of work, but you can certainly do it. But ArtCloud makes it easy. You'll start to get conversion percentages here. So in your top of funnel, you had 2,405 people that came to your website or to your marketplace profile. You can even click on that and see where they came from. So if you did want to spend time focusing on your top of funnel, if you felt like I'm not reaching enough people to actually make the numbers meaningful down funnel, then like you can start putting more work into that. And we'll do other sessions where we really dive into more specifics on how to grow your top of funnel. But this is things like more social media posts, um, more art fair participation, things like that. Uh, of those 2,405 people, how many of that actually kind of came to your website or to your marketplace profile? How many of them actually converted and said, "Hey, I'm interested in mid funnel. I'm interested in work. I'm Alex West. This is what I'm interested in," and that was 3.6%. And if you hover over this, ArtCloud's going to show you what the industry standard is. So you can see that you're well, like in this demo account that we're in, it's well below the industry average of 28%. So ArtCloud websites have a really high rate of converting visitors to inquiries. And so that kind of 28% within this account demonstrates that. And if you felt like this was where you wanted to focus, you could then go change your website. You can work on your call to actions, maybe add more photos, to an inventory record on the inventory detail page, maybe hide prices. There's a million things you can do to kind of improve that metric. But again, today we're not going to necessarily work on that. But of those 2,405 unique visitors, 3.6 converted. So you can see these are those 87 contacts that were created off of that top of funnel engagement. So in our mid funnel, we have 87 users. And those 87 users have made 69 inquiries. So they've raised their hand and said, I'm interested in this work. I'm interested in that work. And that inquiry value is $169,000. So this kind of gets you a sense of you were able to generate leads for $169,000 worth of artwork in this, I think this is a month, let's see, in this week to date. So again, you can pick any date range here and be able to quickly see that. So this is really important. Not only are you going to see the kind of the volume of your mid funnel, but in terms of kind of units, the number of collectors, but also the total monetary value of the artwork that was inquired on. And then of all of that mid-funnel engagement, you were able to convert 81% of it to sales, or so of the kind of the sales that happened, 81% came from your top of funnel engagements. There's some funny math we have to do here that because we have to kind of think about longer sales cycles than the week in the range, but this is basically showing that 81% of your sales came from top of funnel engagement like websites, our marketplace, etc. And so this then gives you a sense if this number was much lower than the industry average of 18%, you would want to then go work on what your sales process is in the gallery. And that's what we're going to focus on today is how to make sure you know all the open opportunities you have and how you make sure you don't forget the follow-up. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Not to be too repetitive, but we're going through a kind of a three-stage funnel: top of funnel engagement, mid funnel engagement, and then what your sales team is actually able to convert to a closed deal. So again, we're going to zoom in on this kind of second conversion rate or the third funnel metric, and we're going to look at the opportunity tracker inside of ArtCloud. So whenever an inquiry comes in off of your website, ArtCloud is going to automatically make an opportunity record for you inside the opportunity tracker. If you are not using ArtCloud Pro Plus, you can do this with Post-it notes. You can do this in Excel, but some place where you and your team can clearly see all of the open opportunities that you're working. You can then start getting really refined here and say, okay, well, these are all of the leads that have come in from our website. So they might automatically come into this lead stage here. And as you start to work that opportunity, as you reply back to that inquiry with a tear sheet or additional images or a shipping quote, as you get buying signals from that collector, then you're going to be able to kind of move that lead down this funnel. So you might say, hey, when an inquiry first comes in, we're just calling it a lead. We don't know if it's cold or warm or hot or kind of like how serious that buyer is. So it comes in as a pure lead. If they're not responding to any emails, you can kind of move them back into this gone cold area. as you start getting responses and they start getting a little bit more serious about the inquiry, you can move that lead down funnel like this. Um, so I hope that kind of starts making sense. So this is just kind of like just a central place for you to see all of your open opportunities and be able to sort them by stage. All those stages are configurable inside the platform. So we're just showing you one sample way of having this set up. When you open up an opportunity, you're going to see the name of it, the potential value of it, and you'll be able to kind of drill down into what the works are. So for in this example, maybe someone's come in and said, "Hey, I'm interested in buying 2 pieces. These are some of the ones I'm interested in." So you've set this value that maybe their budget's $7,000, and you can add as many artworks as you want to this opportunity. If they inquire off of the website, we're going to automatically associate the artwork that they were inquiring about with this opportunity and with that contact record. Uh, from here, you can kind of start setting up your follow-ups. So you can send a new email. That could be a blank email, just kind of a, hey, checking in. I know you were interested in this piece. Or you can include tear sheets or collateral from any of the potential purchases. So let's say we wanted to include a tear sheet for these 2 pieces. We can add that to a message and then quickly fire off an email, thank you, thank you for your inquiry. Inquiry, forgive my typing here. Attached is a tear sheet with more information.
And
Uh,
Alex, it's important to note that if you aren't already using the email integration with ArtCloud, this is how this is happening. This is emailing from your Gmail or Office 365 email address, correct, Alex?
that's correct.
So it's all integrated, and so the contact records. So this one Angel Perry will forevermore have this email and the artist interests associated with their contact record. So in 5 years, when he comes back into the picture, you know everything about him. You don't need to just hold it in your mind, which I know as a former gallery worker, there's a lot up here that needs to come out into this space, either what right, like Alex said, whether it's ArtCloud or something else. Everything needs to be interconnected. 'Cause it's so easy to fall behind on this kind of stuff. And we want to be overwhelmed with inquiries, right? Like that's the
Absolutely, that's the
idea.
goal.
We
Uh,
don't want to have to hold it all in our head. We want to be overwhelmed by them. So this is what makes a big difference. Go on.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Thank you for clarifying that. Um, so what we're starting to show now is as that mid-funnel engagement emerges, as we start to get leads, let's start thinking about the how do we want to approach what's our gallery strategy to closing these leads. One thing we've learned through data and through talking with some of our most successful customers is that the average sale is happening on the fourth or fifth follow-up from that initial engagement. So one thing, if you're brand new to this, we recommend you just sit down with your team and kind of figure out what are the kind of 3 to 5 touch points we want to have with everyone that reaches out to us from the website. So do we want to say, thanks for the inquiry. Here's a tier sheet with a little bit more information. If they don't respond, what's the next? What's that second follow up we send? Is it additional images? Is it an invitation to FaceTime? Is it the artist bio? Is it a couple other works from that series? Kind of what's that second or third touch point, and kind of think through what are all those different touch points you want to have. And again, to make those 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 follow-ups really effortless for you and your team to provide, we have this functionality of email templates. So you can create an email template inside of ArtCloud. Let me just minimize this message real quick. So you can create as many email templates as you want, maybe website inquiry 1, website inquiry follow-up 2, website inquiry follow-up 3, etc. From these, you can then customize what that text is. And what I'll do is I'll show you. If we were to come in here, maybe we know this is our second follow-up. We can do a follow-up to an inquiry. We can select that template, and now we've pre-populated that standard form. Hello, and we can then personalize this from here. So hello, Angel. Thank you for your interest in, and we know the works they were inquiring about. Attached with the tear sheet with more information. Please let us know if you have any other questions. One best practice we've learned, both from selling ArtCloud, but also from talking to galleries about what's made them successful, is to finish every email or every response with a clear call to action. Do you have any other specific questions? Would you like to see additional images? Would you like to see shipping quotes? Are there any other works I can interest you in? any kind of direct question at the end is going to be so much easier for them to respond to. You're oftentimes emailing someone that is juggling 3 or 4 or 5 other priorities. We know how distracted we all are. And so the more direct and clear you can be with a call to action or with a question at the end, the more likely you're going to make it, the more effortless you're going to make it for that receiver to be able to clearly write back and answer that question. If it's more of an open-ended email, like, hey, here's a tear sheet, like my best, Alex, then they have to do all this extra work of thinking, okay, well, what do I need next? Am I gonna be able to frame this thing? Am I gonna be able to hang this thing? What are all the things? If you say, hey, here's the tear sheet, please let me know if you have any questions about delivery and installation, then like you're already inviting them to uncover those needs, and then you can help work through all those potential objections or objection handling situations that you might be in. And as you start getting more buying signals from the client, as they start saying, "Hey, we're interested in this, but we got to get a little bit more clarity," or "Let me talk to my partner," or "Let me measure the space." Uh, as they start getting kind of more and more warm, you can move these opportunities down funnel, so they can go from kind of cold or leads all the way down to hot leads. And because each one of these opportunities has a budget or a value associated with it, each one of these stages can have a percentage chance that you believe this is going to be a closed deal. So maybe you think that 90% of your hot leads are actually going to close, and maybe you think 10% of your cold leads are going to close. Then our cloud is going to be able to give you two really important pieces of information. One is, what's the total volume of all of the art that you are currently selling, of all your open opportunities, and of those stages that all those different opportunities are in, and the stage weighted value, what do we expect your revenue to look like over the near future? So especially now when things are up and down and left and right and can't seem to make any sense of the market or public sentiment, this is a great way to start getting an anchor of what you think revenue is going to look like in the next 30 to 60 days. And we find that gives galleries a lot more data so they can plan and be a little bit more thoughtful in their strategy. One other kind of thing I want to jump into before we open this up for questions. There's obviously a million details about this flow that we have not covered, but we want to keep it really high level. Um, but as you kind of get to that fourth or fifth follow-up and you're looking for just kind of I've got to get a yes or a no. I want to stop hounding this person, but I need a yes or a no. We have the ability to create an offer. So this is a great way to kind of create urgency in the sales cycle that may not naturally be there. So if they're interested in this piece, you can create an offer here. You could add a potential discount. So you can maybe say something like, let's just say we're willing to offer them a 10% discount, and we can set an expiration date. So we can set something kind of tight to today, where we haven't heard back from this person in 3 days, but they did inquire about this piece. We can go ahead and create this offer. And then let's see, if we view our offer, let's see if I can create, let's see if I could just view it. I guess you can email it here, but what's great about this is you can send this offer to the client. They can then see that they have a 10% discount if they can accept by Friday. So now all of a sudden without you being too salesy, you've kind of made this third party sense of urgency into the deal. And if you're using ArtCloud, they can even put their credit card in, it'll convert to an invoice, and they'll purchase right then. So you don't have to deal with the situation of them saying, yep, I'd really like to do that, and then going dark again. And we think this is a great way to kind of it's kind of like the Hail Mary. Like, are they really interested? Do they want this? They just got busy, but now this 10% can move the needle and get them to actually activate or purchase the work, or have they completely been ghosted you out, and then you can just close this as a closed opportunity where you're not necessarily gonna to sell the work. And that's kind of like the last kind of tactic. There's a million other details in here that we love to get into, but just with time, that's what we have today. So. Uh, Megan, any have we
Yeah.
gotten any questions so far?
Yes, I have some questions. So uh, I think we'd love to see how so the sales opportunity dashboard. There's a lot of places where you can customize things, and some drop downs that like you can filter and sort. Would you mind taking us on a brief tour of like just a little bit more about how you get started and how you navigate this page? Because I mean, it's funny. We look at this stuff all the time because we're so in our product and thinking so hard about it. But when I first started at ArtCloud and when I have worked in the arts in the past, like when I come into this, I'm pretty overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So when it comes to searching, when it comes to the filtering, the actions, would you mind taking us through kind of just how you would use it if you were in a gallery?
Yeah, absolutely. As a principal, I always believe that starting small or starting easy and then kind of becoming more complex. So don't try to overcomplicate this when you're thinking with your team. Okay, what is our sales process? Don't define 14 steps that changed with the season. Start small, medium, large. Cold, warm, hot. You can edit these stages, so you can add whatever stage you want. You can do gone cold, it's lead, it's warm, it's waiting for follow-ups, it's waiting for additional images, it's needs to be delivered, or like whatever. You can add as many stages as you want. You can reorder them. So if you wanted to kind of have that gone cold potentially right here, you can kind of move this wherever you want. uh,
Mm.
you could also look at the opportunity tracker in this Kanban board where you have these kind of different columns for that represent the different seriousness of the collector. You can also look at it in list view. You can change the stages easily from in here. You can search and sort. But again, this is really meant to replace the kind of post-it note uh, situation that some galleries are in, where they're writing all their leads down on a notepad or on post-it notes, and then they're trying to remember when they're at home, who was that one person that wanted
Mhm.
this thing, or who do I need to follow up with, or you lose something and you forget to follow up with them. We find that there's just so much revenue and opportunities that are just lost, that just fall through the cracks because we're busy, and galleries are notoriously under resourced, and things are just going to fall through the cracks if you don't have a really easy to manage platform to kind of track all those opportunities. Um, so hope
Speaking
that
of
helps.
resources, like so sorting by staff and sorting by stages, sorting by locations, we know that several of our galleries have multiple brick and mortar locations, so that can be really helpful because they might be like geographically, different than one another, opportunity wise. So just to note those three sections, and then in terms of the filter and the actions, what are those all about?
So this is if you want to, batch edit a
Edit
bunch of,
stages.
opportunities. If you have like a bunch of gone colds that you haven't touched in a few weeks, you're like, let's just mark all these closed lost. You can then come over
Mm,
here, select a bunch of these, and you can kind of batch apply an action. You can
it's
edit those
helpful.
stages. You can edit the columns, and then you can export these up to other reports if you're trying to do, more granular analysis. One thing that's subtle, but if you do have a large sales team, a lot of our kind of larger galleries will do kind of weekly check-ins with every sales associate, and they'll drill down and they'll get a sense of like, okay, well, how many opportunities does this particular user have? How many like opportunities does this staff member have? And that way they can get a sense of, who is their higher performing salespeople. They can use this as a vehicle to help coach up kind of underperforming sales associates and things like that. So it's a great way to help manage your sales team if you have that larger staff.
Right. It's as simple as saying, "Hey, go to the warm leads this morning and work them for a few hours, and just have a good place to send them to like one specific spot, as opposed to saying like 1, 2, 3, go, good luck."
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. Or just
having
see
a
like
really
how many
organized
opportunities they
spot.
have. Who has,
Yeah.
do I have this, this sales associate has $500,000 worth of art sales to work, and this one has 20,000. Then you'll know, okay, well,
Right.
these two people have been doing very different types of prospecting or client engagement
Yeah.
work.
Or not, they're not operating the way that they should be either within the platform. Like you can kind of
Totally.
like keep tabs on kind of how everybody's sort of working together within the technology. We have two really great questions from Jeremy and Grace. The first one is, I think he says he thinks the total value for opportunities includes closed won items. Is that correct? Uh,
Yes.
does that?
In that date range, so, yeah, for sure, absolutely. So in this date range, you can filter these, by create date or by close date of the
Okay.
opportunities, and it will include close one. If you mark it that way, if you can always mark close one when you're editing your stages, you can mark close one as as a 0%. So this is the, kind of the percentage chance, of what we're gonna apply it to, and that will, um, help quite a bit if you're trying to not count, you're trying to figure out what a new opportunity is ahead of you.
Yeah, that just completely depends on the gallery strategy, which it would be interesting to do a roundtable with people who have like really set strategy. Although I think a lot of that's so proprietary, I doubt we could get galleries to talk to
For
us about
sure.
it. But just trust me when I say that like some of the people that really utilize um, the opportunity tracker in ArtCloud are like the power users. They've got it really locked in and super customized. It's interesting how creative they get with the amount of customization you can do. So yeah, Grace says, could you go back to email templates and how do you get there from the opportunities page? Also, how do you minimize an email if you get interrupted?
Great question. Two great questions. So,
Yeah, thanks.
obviously, if
Thank you,
you're here
Grace.
on your homepage, if you come down under sales and marketing, you'll see all of your email templates. So this is where you'll go create email templates, edit email templates. Um, and then whenever you're sending an email, whether it's from the opportunity view, whether it's just a old fashioned tear sheet. So if you want to send email to contacts, anytime you're sending an email, there will always be this email template section right here. You can select that. You can pick the staff member associated with it, or just look at all your email templates. Um, and then select the email template you want to use. So this is, again, to show it directly from your question. Let me just pull up an opportunity. So if we were to go um, send an email again from here, pick the piece we want to send it from, in all the
Right at the
new
top there.
message composition, that email templates section is going to be there. And then to answer that second question you had, this little minimize button right here, this little line will minimize this. You can navigate around the platform if client comes in and interrupts you, not bothers you, interrupts you and has some questions about other things. Then you can pull
Interrupts
this
and
down.
wants to
Yeah,
buy the most expensive piece in
yeah,
your gallery.
exactly. You can minimize that
Doesn't just
email
want
and
to
then get
chat for
back
an
to it.
hour and a half, which we know happens.
Exactly. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can obviously always reach out to our support team.
Yeah, thank you for those answers, Alex. I
Of
think
course.
we'll go to we're running quickly out of time here. We'll go to our slide. But yeah, Jeremy, thank you so much. He said we love the opportunities feature. You really get out of it what you put into it, which I think that's so many things in life, but specifically the sales opportunity tracker.
For sure. I think that applies to
Yeah,
everything in my life.
yes, yeah, really. But yeah, the stronger you set up the beginning, the stronger you train your staff. And obviously, you guys know support at artcloud.com is always there for you. Um, you can really set up something that provides so much visibility. Here you see on the right hand side, this is the building your funnel, just kind of like a wrap up of a summary of the previous slides. What I'll do also is button up this deck and send it with the recording just to have as a resource. It's pretty bare bones. We wanted to go through relatively quickly in a webinar, but it might be good to have around. And of course, let us know if you have any questions other than right now. And then if you are a new person that has not used ArtCloud before, a gallery, then we would love to show you a demo. We would love to take you through and see, and talk to you specifically about your needs and how ArtCloud can be a good fit for you. It's a platform that is so feature rich that it's used differently by a lot of people. And as Alex said, you start small, you start with the inventory database and you grow from there. We see it happen every day. So book a personalized demo, take advantage of the 14-day free trial. The 14-day free trial gets you access to the opportunity tracker because the trial is like a for the Pro Plus, which is the highest level of our subscription tiers. So make sure to do that if you want to kind of poke around and experiment for yourself. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or your evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you again, Alex, for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks,
Um,
Megan.
yeah, of course. And keep an eye on your inbox because we'll have more gallery webinars coming up. I'm really looking forward to a few of them. We do have some roundtable things kind of planned where, we can really feel like we're a part of a gallery community. That's kind of how we like to view our customers. And yeah, just have a wonderful day. And we look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.